Hi, I'm Lorelei Payne. I'm an AQHA Professional Horseman Level 3. I'm an accredited AQHA judge, a Level 2 Ranch judge, an EA International judge, a HSAA judge and a Western Dressage Judge of Australia. As an AQHA Professional Horseman, I'm presenting a series of short videos on elements of the AQHA rulebook. I will be demonstrating aspects of the rulebook in a user-friendly, hands-on manner to eliminate any confusion you might have over competing. I will be covering many areas of the rules from hunter classes to ranch, and if there's anything you want to see, please let me know in the comments. Thank you. Today's clip will cover hunter on the saddle, hunt sea deck and hunter hack. These three classes have all the same equipment rules. Your show hunter and your show hack are EA and Hack Council equipment rules, so they are different. Let's start with bits and bridles, unacceptable and acceptable.
So Lorelei, there's a lot of bits and bridles that you've got here. Okay, can you tell me a little bit about what colours are acceptable?
Right, any shade of brown. So on the back wall we have black and 3 shades of brown. Now the first one is a bit and bradoon, but that is a show hack bridle. The second one is a plaited one, which is a show hunter bridle, but the Brit is legal in the...
All right, so it's got plaited.
Plaited?
Is that acceptable?
No, it's not acceptable.
Okay.
Hunter on this.
Okay, so but that shade of brown is, but it's plaited.
Yes.
So that's unacceptable. All right, what about this one here? It looks like it's got a few shades of brown. Is that okay on the one bridle?
Yes, and it's, even though it's a rolled leather, it is still acceptable.
Okay. And then this one
This
here
one is a lighter colour brown. It is all the one colour, and is it acceptable?
Okay.
Here is a black bridle that is acceptable. Everything about it is plain and black.
Okay.
Now,
And what about the cavesson noseband?
Cavesson, they must have a cavesson noseband.
Okay, they must have a cavesson.
Not a figure of 8 or a drop noseband.
All right. Okay. And then we've got this one here that you've got. It's quite coloured and fancy.
That's for a show hack bridle.
Okay. And
Now this is a palum bit, but because of the thickness of the bit, that is on the verge of being illegal.
okay. So tell me what bits are legal.
You have your snaffle, your palum, your kimberwick. Now with the palum, there's a full bit and bradoon and the palum bit. This is a palum bit, also has a curbs chain. For your bit and bradoon, has 2 reins. This is a bit and bradoon or a full bridle bit. Has 2, this is your curbs, and that is your snaffle.
All right. So that bit's okay. What about this noseband?
Noseband is too thick,
Yeah.
and it's only for a show hack.
Okay. And what about the white on there? Is that no good?
No, it's not acceptable.
All right, but the bit's okay.
Yes.
All right, so back to this one here. You said that it is a palum, yet it's not acceptable. What were you talking about there?
It's too wide between here.
Okay.
The mouthpiece is too wide.
Okay, so that's got to be, so we measure that at 2.5 centimetres
Right, so that is
in.
2.5 centimetres in, which is from there,
Yep.
and the
It's got to
diameter,
be between 8 and 20 mils, so that's how we do that.
and that is bigger.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Okay, so that's the palum. What about the snaffles? Because there's a lot of different snaffles that we have. So what are some of the rules about it? What about the size of the ring of the snaffle? So the...
Snaffles, we have different types of snaffles.
Yeah.
That is an FM snaffle, but they must have keepers in your bridle.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a snaffle, but it has rollers. This snaffle is a D. That's
Yep.
another. There's 3 different shapes of D. This is a ring snaffle, and then across over here that's a French link, but that is a sweet metal snaffle.
And all of these are okay?
Yes, they are legal.
All right, tell me about the ring, because in the rule book it says between 50 and 100 mils. How do we measure that?
Well,
What are we looking at
we're
there?
looking at the diameter.
Okay.
from the out to out. So it
So that
just
one's-
makes,
Yeah. Okay, so that's 60 mil.
yes, so,
Okay, so it's acceptable in that it's over 50.
yes.
All right, what about this one? Because it looks pretty big. So
This
he's
one
gotta
is
be-
fairly big, it just makes it again. So that's 10,
Okay, right. So he's going pretty close there.
yes.
Okay.
Alright, so
All right. So on this snaffle, this one here looks a little bit different in that it's got, what do we call that?
That is a
shape.
deported barrel.
Okay, so with the port, it has to be under 40 mils. How do we measure that? And how
We
do
measure
know when
that
we're
from
going?
the top to the bottom, which is just in.
Okay, right, he's just in. So that's a pretty big port there, isn't it?
Right.
And yet it's still within.
Copper inlays are correct. You can use them on any bit. Copper
Okay.
inlays.
Okay, so what about that roller there? What about the width of this roller here?
The width
Okay.
again is in the parameter. That is 1.5.
Okay, so it's got to be under 32.
32. And then the length of diameter again.
So that's got to be between under 50 mil.
Yes.
All right, so that's for the barrel. What about those French links? Because they can get quite long. On this one over here.
We have one right there.
Okay,
which
so
is
this
a
one
small
here. So
one.
it has to be between 10 to 20 mil in the width of it. And for that length, it's got to be under 50 mil.
50 mil.
So
So that's
30, so that's well under. What about that one that's over there?
Yeah,
It looks quite,
that's
and that's
fine.
within too. Okay.
Another thing I want to mention about this bit is with this curb strap on, it is illegal for English, but with this curb strap on, this bit is legal for Western. So that if you take that off, it's legal. If you leave that on, it's illegal.
Okay. And this French link here, it's quite long. Does it fit within the
It's
50?
just in, right?
Okay. So he is only just in, isn't it? And
Yes.
that's between your 10 and your 20. So it can't be too thin, and yet it can't be too
Too
thick
thick.
for that.
Yes.
Okay. So with this curb chain on the pelham, on the Kimberwick,
Kimberwick.
what's the ruling on that?
You must have a chain with any Kimberwick or any Myler bit, which is that one. They have, that's for, you can put it in 2 different angles.
Yep.
You can have it higher or lower. You must have a flat link chain.
Okay, and when it says that it has to be under the 12.5 wide,
Again,
or the wider than 12.5, sorry.
yes. Again,
So,
that's
yeah.
in.
Okay.
And that's meaning flat. It must lie flat on the horse's
So
chin.
you can't have any skinny
No. Again, this one's
savage
lying
chain
flat.
or- Yeah, right.
And there's your links.
Okay.
So there, I think we have a couple there. These ones have got leather straps on it, which just makes it
Right.
look pretty.
Okay. Excellent. So we've got a few on this side that are not acceptable. Tell us what's going wrong with these bits.
That's a running gag bit, even though it's got a snaffle bit. It goes through the centre, and that will hook up to the bit and up to the bridle, which makes that illegal. A tom thumb bit, which is illegal because of the joins there. It doesn't look very nice anyway. The shanks are too small. That's a tongue depressor, and a ring bit, usually used for racehorses. This bit is on the verge. It's long and it's thick.
Okay, so that protruding part there, that has to be less than 1.6 or 16 mil.
That is just on
under,
it, just
okay.
under.
Righto.
But it's, well, it doesn't look very nice bit. Right, this bit is too thick.
Okay, so again, that needs
That
to
is
be
1.3. That's 2.8. Again, it's in the length there, but it's too wide a bit.
Yep, so it's got to be between 8 mil and 20 mil there. Righto.
This is another snaffle bit, but the rings and the side, it's mainly a race.
All right, so just to recap, Lorelei, what are the bits that are acceptable?
Okay, smooth, round, oval or egg-shaped, a slow twist, a corkscrew, a single twisted wire, a double twisted wire, and straight bar and solid. Now, also with your FM bits and with the FM twisted bits, you must wear a keeper. But most important, any twisted bit is not legal in Victoria.
Okay, so that's a different rule for Victoria.
Correct.
Okay, and so as long as those bits meet the specification of the 8 to 20 mils, so wider than 8 mils and thinner than 20, they're all acceptable.
Correct.
Okay,